श्रीमते जयपताग स्वामी भक्ति स्वामिन्ति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादे पाश्चात्यादिशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्त वृंदा जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय यशोदनंदना जय व्रज जनरंजना जय यमुना तीरवनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी जय यमुना तीरवनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय गुरुदेवा गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा निताय गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर सीतानाथ प्रेमानंदे हरि 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 बोल हरे कृष्णा welcome so we are seeing the mantra 12 of Ishopanishad. Half of it we have already seen. So now we are going to see the rest of it. So just to remind you of where we are talking about those people who worship the demigods. They enter into the darkest region of ignorance. But the worst, still more very dangerous, or the more darker persons are those who are the worshippers of impersonal absolute. So this impersonal people who consider the supreme to be impersonal are so very dangerous philosophy. This is the reason being it's also a kind of atheism. The atheists are openly declaring that they are against the God, or God is not there. But the impersonal is negating the personal feature of the Lord or personality of the Lord, and saying that such a person doesn't exist and is only light or sound, or in that way, him impersonalizing is also one way of uh, denying the existence of God. That's what we are going to see, that portion where worship of demigods is dangerous, but more dangerous is the impersonal Brahman aspect. Not Brahman itself, but Mayavada philosophy itself. Mayavada philosophy, there are two things. One is Brahmavadi, another is Mayavadi. There is a difference between these two. So the Brahmavadi is the one who doesn't deny the existence of the personality of Godhead, but he has not yet reached. He is step by step going, and he has come to impersonal aspect. But as soon as he is revealed the Paramatma feature and Bhagavan feature, he is accepting it as the next level of steps, and he proceeds further. The best example is the four Kumaras. They were impersonalist. So what happened? Means Brahmavadis. They were not Mayavadis. Mayavadi says that the Maya is, we are all God. All these very, very wrong conceptions. But Brahmavadi is the one who understands that we are not the body, we are spirit, soul. And the Supreme God is not personal, but a light. Brahmajyoti. And then later, when he realizes further, Bahunam Janmanamante Jnanavantan Prapatyate Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudarlava. Sat Mahatmas are very, very rare. But after many, many lifetimes, they understand, oh, okay, Vasudeva is Sarvamiti. Like that, they understand, either through learning of scriptures or through the realization of Brahman. So, this four Kumaras, I'll tell you the past name of four Kumaras before we start off, to understand what is Mayavada and what is Brahmavadis. The Brahmavadis are proper step-by-step progressing people, and when they see the further step, they progress further into Paramatma feature and then Bhagavan feature. So the personal aspect, then at last they come to, there is very rarely one person coming to this platform. Otherwise, they will get lost in the impersonalism, and they will also get lost sometimes in Mayavada aspects. So the thing is, this four Kumaras were born out of Brahma, and then they refused to create. The reason being, they didn't want to get entangled into the material world. They think all the activities which are performed in this world will lead to karma bandhana. So I will not act. So I will not. So Brahma told them to do the creation. So they refused to do the creation, and they were just learning the scriptures and roaming around like that. And then they were able to enter into the Brahmajyoti and further into the entrance of Vaikuntha. That much they were able to go due to their power of austerity and the meditation of the Brahman. But they were not able to enter. There was Jaya and Vijaya standing there in the doorstep as the gods. Then when they tried to enter, then they were stopped by the guards. Because they are not yet eligible, they are not qualified, they are just trying to enter in grossly. So then they cursed, they get angry very fast, especially those people who are not really worshipping the personal aspects of God, doesn't have mercy in their heart. They won't have that, the qualities, great qualities of mercy, magnanimity, non-enviousness, and that affection. These kind of tender feelings are devoid in the heart of those kind of creatures. So what they do, they immediately curse those boys, the Jaya and Vijaya, these four Kumaras. They just very casually get angry, see. And then what happened, because they were stopped. Then the Lord, he ran from inside because purposely he wanted to give the darshan. And so when they saw the Lord, before the Lord came, the Lord was wearing tulasi garland, and in his lotus feet there was tulasi leaves which were decorated by tulasi leaves and the manjaris. And they were so fragrant that smell came first. And just as soon as they didn't see the Lord yet, But as soon as they smelled that tulasi leaf, immediately a transformation happened within their heart, and that anger and that impersonalism has hard-heartedness. So they like austerity, they like tapasya, they like vairagya, these kind of jnana and vairagya. So this jnana and vairagya, initially they are also, uh, without devotion, these are waste. They are in fact disturbance. It's mentioned in when we go to Nectar of Devotion, we will see that Rupa Goswami is mentioning how jnana and vairagya, initially a person may take up in a very, very basic stage, but it has to be given up because it is a disturbance in the process of devotion. Because the material knowledge, I mean to say the material knowledge of Vedas, not the knowledge about Krishna. Like Sravanam Kirtanam brings the knowledge from the Buddha spiritual master, not from reading so many books, but from hearing from the spiritual master. Sravanam is one of the process of devotional service. So in this way, so that they reach that very powerful, and then the lords that tulasi smell, they smell, and that four kumaras immediate transformation in the heart, and they get very tenderness in the heart, and they feel so blissful, so wonderful. ये क्या है preparing live stream? Okay, so then what they do is they were they were then the Lord came and they saw the beautiful form of the Lord with eyes, and that's all. They are fully surrendered and they are very affectionate. They didn't want any more curse. They want to take away, and they were so blissful. Then there is a very nice verse: Tasyaravinda nayanasya padaravinda kinjal kamishra tulasi magaranda vayu अन्तर्गतस्वविवरेण चकार तेषां संक्षोभमक्षरजुषाम् अविचित्ततन्वो तस्य अरविन्द नयनस्य the personality whose eyes are like lotus tasyaravinda nayanasya padaravinda the lotus feet Kinjalka Mishra Tulasi. There is there's a Tulasi which is there, and the various offerings are done in the lotus feet of the Lord, and that Tulasi is mixed. And in that there is Magaranda Vayu. There is a fragrance which is coming out, and that enters into the nostrils of Andargatasva Vivarena Chakaratesham. It enters into the nostril, into the heart, and so much transformation of devotion happens. It's so blissful. They've never felt. So there is a Paramananda, there's Brahmananda. Sometimes Mayavadis, they name themselves Brahmananda, like the Satsidananda, like that, they name themselves. But there is Paramananda, which comes out of the service to the Supreme Lord, Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. In that, there is this great bliss in the service of the Lord. And it brings such a wonderful transformation and bliss. So they were experiencing something which is totally new, and they surrendered totally to the Supreme Lord. So in this way, this is one of the Brahmavadis who turned from the Brahmavadi, they directly turned into a devotee, Bhakta. Now the Chaturkumaras are Bhaktas, and we have one of the authorized parampara is Kumara Sampradaya. But right now all the Sampradayas are vanished. After Lord Chaitanya came, Chaitanya wanted to merge all the Sampradayas together. So only till Lord Chaitanya came, these were four different Sampradayas. And now everything is culminated in Gaudiya. When Supreme Lord comes, he overpowers. It's overridden. So the previous is overridden by this new, not new, this is also Puranic, but this Gaudiya Vaishnava, Achintya Veda Veda Tattva. That has taken over, and all essential aspects from all the four Sampradayas are added in this, and rest of it is left as a remnants. So those Sampradayas no more exist. Of course, it became broken chain of disciplic succession. Unbroken chain, we have this Gaudiya, the Madhva, Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. And now this is the culmination, because the original Supreme Lord, along with his internal potency as Gauranga, has descended, and he has presented this. So yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyatanam. So in order to re-establish the religion, the Lord comes. So when Lord re-establishes the religion, that becomes the religion. So the Harinam Sankirtan is the Yuga Dharma. There may be many other paths, but they have to come and culminate in this process of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. So this is a further to see, but only till 500 years ago. But before 500 years ago, till Madhavendra Puri came, there were four branches of knowledge in which Kumar Sampradaya is also one of that. Nimbargacharya was initiated by four Kumaras here in Mayapur Dham, in one of the Dibas. It happened is in Nimbargacharya is in Simantadweep. So, like this. So, this is the thing. So, these four Kumaras, they became pure devotees after having the Tulasi Maharani's mercy. That smelling, simply by smelling Tulasi. So, this Brahmavadis are all kind of the persons who are authoritatively searching after the Supreme Lord, not simply staying in the material platform and claiming that God is light, God is that, God is this, God, and in this way. They are genuine people who are trying to progress. So, this difference we should know. So, what are we seeing? Wherefrom I branched out into this? Yeah, so it is very important to understand that there are atheistic ideas. The impersonalist idea is a kind of atheism that the God is almost I want to say the God is dead, but instead of saying God is dead, God is impersonal, like that. Because a person is there, a person vanishes from our the existence. In the world, there is a person, he vanishes from our existence. Then, if I say vanishing from our existence, or I say he is dead, both are same, right? Same way, by saying that Lord is impersonal is equal to saying that God is dead. Or God is not there. In that way, a kind of atheism it is. So we have to, so that is more dangerous. Like demigod worshippers, they are very core materialist. They openly show themselves as materialist, and they certainly desire material opulence or material aspect of life, and they want to do the sense enjoyment. So clearly visible. And the atheist is also clearly visible. He is defying directly the Lord openly. But this in a garb of a religion person, and people believe that they are religious people, but actually they are guiding into this atheistic ideas. This is very, very dangerous. This is more dangerous even than demigod worship. So if you see the exact Loka translation, it is that those who are engaged in the worship of demigods enter into the darkest region of ignorance, and still more so do the worshippers of impersonal attribute, absolute. So, the more dangerous than the demigod worship is the worship of impersonal absolute. So this is what Isopanisad declares. Isopanisad is a very bold scripture. It openly defies. We say that the Vedas recommend. Generally, we say that the Vedas recommend demigod worship. But here you can see that they're very clearly declaring that they'll go andam tamish. They'll just go into the darkest region. And impersonal people. Oh, Vedas are talking about impersonal Brahman. Especially in India, this is very, very famous because from the Kasi, it all emanated from the Kasi, the followers of Sankaracharya. But at last, when Sankaracharya, before he disappeared, he sang the song Bhajagovindam, Bhajagovindam, Govindam, Bhajamudamate. Fools kindly chant. Mudamate means fools. All his followers, he is calling them fools. And you have to chant Govinda's name. Samprapte sannidite kale nahi nahi rakshati dukrum karane. You are all having philosophical arguments. Jnanis, they keep studying scriptures and they discuss the Vedanta Sutra. The full day they will keep discussing the Vedanta Sutra. Day and night they will discuss Vedanta Sutra. They'll read Vedanta Sutra, and then one philosopher will be against another philosopher, and he will be against another philosopher, and this is the duty. This is called Dukrum Karana. So this he is telling, nahi nahi rakshati dukrum karani. Samprapte sannidite kale. When you are dying, your death is going to come. When you're dying, whatever discussions you had on the philosophy, it's not going to help. But whatever Govinda's name you chanted, that will help. So Bhajagovindam, Bhajagovindam, Govindam, Bhajamudamate. Samprapte sannidite kale, nahi nahi rakshati dukrum karani. So very clearly, he indirectly instructed them to chant Govinda's name instead of spending time so much in arguments. They generally have this philosophical discussion, argument. Even when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Varanasi, they will all, when they met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took a very humble position. Then they all asked, see, you are sitting there, sir, and you are dancing and chanting in the street, and you're very nicely initiated as a sannyasi in this our parampara, impersonal parampara. Then why you're not discussing Vedanta Sutra? You're not coming for the discussions. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu don't go into all those discussions and arguments. He just sit there and he just chants and dances and eats prasadam and visits the Bindu Madhava temple and Kasi Vishwanath temple. In this way, he spent. And they were all. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually, while going to Vrindavan, on the way, he stayed in Puri. From Puri, he was going to Vrindavan. At that time, he stayed in the Varanasi. So all he's so effulgent, so beautiful young sannyasi, and he's taken in Bharati Sampradaya, which is also a impersonalist Sampradaya. So they were thinking that he will come sometime to discuss Vedanta Sutra. We can discuss with him, but he was not doing it. He was chanting and going with his devotees. He was chanting in Javamala. He was going and coming. Sometimes he does kirtan in the streets and other things. With there is Chandrasekhara, Tapan Mishra. They were living there. And Raghunath Bhatta Goswami is also very small boy, 5-year-old boy. He will also accompany Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he took instructions when he was 5-6 years in Varanasi. So in this way, but there was one day in which all the sannyasis will go to the bank of River Ganges and they will do some rituals in once in a year, and that day came. So that's going to come in 2 days. Then all the Mayavadi sannyasis they were thinking we will Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is refusing to that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not coming and joining with us or talking to us. So he will surely has to come and perform that duty as a sannyasi. So we will surely meet him in the bank of Ganga. At that time we'll speak like that, they thought. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left from previous day night. Tomorrow is that ritual, and previous day night he just leaves Varanasi to increase their eagerness. And also, he didn't want to generally associate with Mayavadis. Of course, he is Supreme Lord. he wanted to instruct and preach them, but not at this, that's not the right moment in an argumentative mood. So he just left the previous day night to Vrindavan. So next day they were all were disappointed. And he just left. Oh, he left. They are all thinking because he is supreme absolute truth. Even that Brahmajyoti is the effulgence coming out of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's body only. Then what happened then? While returning back, he again came and stayed in Varanasi. That time, all the everybody was very disappointed, saying that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, your name is Sri Krishna Chaitanya, but they are not pronouncing the word Krishna also there. They are telling Chaitanya, Chaitanya. Why the Chaitanya Swami is not coming for the discussion and all that? Why he is like a neophyte? He is dancing in the street and chanting and like this, like a child. Like that, they were discussing. We are great people. We are discussing great philosophies, and he is not coming for that. But like this, so we feel very painful in our heart, Prabhu. So kindly you give association and instruct them. So he was just thinking at that time when Brahmana comes and says that, my dear Lord, come to lunch in my place. I have invited all the sannyasis to my place. So kindly please come. I really want you to meet them and tell the glory of the holy name and everything. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, okay, he took the opportunity and he said, okay, I'll come. So he went a little bit late and already the sannyasis were assembled there. Then he went and he sat where they were washing the hands. Generally, he washed his hands and legs and he sat there somewhere nearby there, down. They were all sitting on a raised platform. Like a big platforms will be there in the houses that when the people come. That's not like a chairs. Nowadays we have chairs, morally proving individuality. But it's like, so then he sat down. Then the Prakashananda Saraswati, who is the head of all this Mayavadi sannyasis, he saw that this beautiful effulgent boy, young sannyasi, is coming and sitting there. Very humbly, he offered obeisance to all of them and he sat there in one corner. Then he said, like, he went to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and said, my dear sir, you are also initiated with in sannyasi. Why you are sitting down like this? Come, you come and sit with us on top. Why you are sitting humbly like this? and he just extended his hand. But before extending, he just looked at the Lord. Then the Lord started emanating the effulgence of Brahmajyoti from his body. So they were so attracted because they were really attracted by Brahmajyoti, and at last they saw the source of Brahmajyoti. So they got the darshan of Brahmajyoti, that Lord Chaitanya was emanating. So everybody became so attracted to him. So immediately Prakashananda Saraswati, he just extended his hand and held Lord Chaitanya's hand, and he felt so much bliss to pull him, to call him into the higher platform. That time he became submissive. Then he asked, "My dear sir, why are you chanting and dancing?" That time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told that I am in Kali Yuga Vasi. My Guru Maharaj said I am a fool. I cannot discuss so much Vedanta Sutra and all. So he said to me to chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and sing and dance and do this devotional service process. So, and then he said that the Vedanta is very, very clear, but the explanations are like dark clouds, and they are hiding the original meanings. The original meanings are very simple and straightforward, like that. Then the entire Mayavadi sannyasis of Varanasi were converted into wonderful devotees, and they all joined Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in great procession of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed for some days there, and every day they used to have a massive kirtan in the bank of river Ganges, in the stairs leading to the ghat, where they were all chanting and all. It's like great ocean of people, and very beautiful description in Chaitanya Bhagavat, and that is translated and given by Guru Maharaj. That book is going to come in another 1 or 2 years. 1 year maximum. Guru Maharaj said 1 year. Maybe it will take a little more time to get translated in other languages or not. So within a year, 1 or 2 years, we can expect the Chaitanya Leela book, which is going to bring a great transformation into the heart of the people, and also various wrong conceptions of Krishna consciousness are also going to become vanished due to this. So in this way, the Mayavadi philosophers also got transformed by the great mercy of Lord Chaitanya. And they understood that the devotional service is the supreme ultimate truth, and supreme Lord is a personality. So this is very, very important. So this is what I was telling, like we branched out from somewhere and came into this, how the Mayavadi sannyasis of Varanasi were also transformed into great devotees by Lord Chaitanya. But generally they criticize simple devotees because they see very simplicity, and discussing great philosophy looks very great and they feel proud about it. And they in fact that impersonalist people are deviating people from it's also a kind of atheism. Negating the personal aspects of the Lord is almost negating the existence of Lord. That's what Prabhupada is mentioning here. So we can read that portion which we left yesterday. Okay. Such mental speculators do not know that the absolute personality of Godhead is Krishna, that the impersonal Brahman is the glaring effulgence of his transcendental body, and that of Paramatma is the super soul, all pervading plenary representation. So only in the material world Paramatma is there, and he is expanded in every atom and in everybody's heart. That is the expansion of the Lord in four-handed Narayana form. He's there. His Paramatma is also not impersonal. He is also a person, and he is residing. It's transcendental to matter. Okay, so here, yeah, you can read from here. Somebody should start. Already we read this paragraph anyway.
In the Bhagavad Gita 7.2023, it is said that only unintelligent, bewildered persons driven by a strong desire for sense gratification worship the demigod for the temporary relief of temporary problems. Since the living being is materially entangled, he has to be relieved from material bondage entirely to attain permanent relief on the spiritual plane, where eternal bliss, life, and knowledge exist. Sri Ishopanishad therefore instructs that we should not seek temporary relief of our difficulties by worshipping the dependent demigods, who can bestow only temporary benefit. Rather, we must worship the absolute personality of Godhead, Krishna, who is all attractive bestow upon who can bestow upon us complete freedom from material bondage by taking us back home, back to Godhead. It is stated in the Bhagavad Gita 7.23 that the worshippers of the demigods can go to the planets of the demigods. The moon worshippers can go to the moon, the sun worshippers to the sun, etc. Modern scientists are now venturing to the moon with the help of rockets, but this is not really a new attempt. With the advanced consciousness, human beings are naturally inclined to travel in outer space and to reach other planets, either by spaceships, mystic powers, or demigod worship. In the Vedic scripture, it is said that one can reach other planets by any one of these three ways, but the most common way is by worshipping the demigod presiding over a particular planet. In this way, one can reach the moon planet, the sun planet, and even Brahmaloka, the topmost planet in this universe. However, all planets in the material universe are temporary residences. The only permanent planets are the Vaikuntha Lokas. These are found in the spiritual sky where the personality of Godhead Himself predominates. As Lord Krishna states in the Bhagavad Gita 8.16, from the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery wherein repeated birth and death take place. But one who attains my abode, a son, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again. Sri Ishopanishad points out that one who worships the demigods and attends to their material planets still remains in the darkest region of the universe. The whole universe is covered by the gigantic material elements. It is just like a coconut covered by a shell and half filled with water. Since its covering is airtight, the darkness within is dense, and therefore the sun and the moon are required for illumination. Outside the universe is the vast and unlimited Brahma Jyotir expansion, which is filled with Vaikuntha Lokas. The biggest and highest planet in the Brahma Jyotir is Krishna Loka, or Golok Vrindavan, where the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna himself, resides. Lord Sri Krishna never leaves Krishna Loka. Although he dwells there with his eternal associates, he is omnipresent throughout the complete material and spiritual cosmic manifestations. This fact has already been explained in Mantra 4. The Lord is present everywhere, just like the sun, yet he is situated in one place, just as the sun is situated in its own undeviating orbit. The problems of life cannot be solved simply by going to the moon planet or to some other planet or above or below it. Therefore, Sri Ishopanishad advises us not to bother with the destination, with any destination within this dark material universe, but to try to get out of it and reach the effulgent kingdom of God. There are many.
Yeah, 1 second. So here, Srila Prabhupada gives a beautiful example of how the material world is dark. That is what we concluded yesterday. That I asked, Abhishek was answering, like how the are we by default is this universe dark or light? Then yeah, it is not enlightened. It has darkness only by default. So here Prabhupada is mentioning like a coconut. has a strong shell and it is half filled with water. This material universe is compared to that. And inside the coconut, if you see, because the shell is very strong and it's very airtight, and inside no light will penetrate, even though there is Brahma Jyoti outside. How there is a coconut and inside the coconut it's filled with half water, but it's actually darkness. It's going to be dark only when it is cracked open. Then you can see some what is there inside that coconut water and all, and the light enters only at that time. Same way, this material universe has very strong covering. Later when we go to Bhagavatam, we'll see that how the universe is covered, how the airtight shell is made like this. So, the Brahma Jyoti is a effulgence of the Lord, but the entire spiritual world is enlightened. There is no separate requirement of sun and moon. And if there is sun and moon, they are part of the pastime of the Lord. And there are also some personalities who are there serving the Lord. But otherwise, by default, it is effulgent. It's not dark, but this material world is actually dark. Hmm? So this universe, each of the universe is inside a dark only because the very hard nut, the shell is there like a coconut shell. So we are like living within a coconut shell like that. So, so here, and if we try to go to demigod planetary system, the demigod planetary systems are not outside this coconut. They are also 14 planetary systems or inside the coconut only. So within the one universe, we have in our universe, we have 14 planetary system, 7 higher planetary systems, 7 lower planetary systems. Chauda Bhuvana, we are saying Chauda Bhuvana. 7 higher, top 7 heavenly planets, and bottom 7 are Asuric planets, like this. Okay. So we continue reading. What about this Andaman people? Why they didn't turn up today? Okay. And our coordinator is also missing. Okay. I have to find out why Andaman people didn't come today. Okay. Okay. The problems of life cannot be solved by simply going to moon planet. So from one dark place to another dark place, we are moving. And we are within the coconut shell only running hither and thither. Okay, somebody is born in lower planetary system as Asura, sometime born as a Deva. Whatever you're born within this universe. So, what is that? Um, there is a saying that in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Lord Chaitanya says, Guru Krishna Kripa Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. What is that? Brahmanda Brahmite Pane Kone Bhagyavan Jeev. Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan. So within the Brahmanda, we are roaming here and there within the Brahmanda. This single universe, we are going here and there in millions of species we have taken. 84 lakh species already done. In 84 lakhs, minimum 80 we have crossed. If you are having a human body, understand that you have had the experience of 80,000 species. You have lived as aquatics. You have lived. The only thing is the forgetfulness is given. Otherwise, it will be so boring that you don't want to live. You want to die immediately. But die and go where? Take another body only. So the forgetfulness is given and shown as if it's totally new experience. But certainly this sense gratification is not totally new experience. We experienced as mm, mm, eating, mating, sleeping, and defending as animals, birds, reptiles, insects, trees, aquatics, various forms we have taken in every species. And then only we ended up here. So even if we go to any part, what is the use of, and if you go to moon planet, what will you achieve? Okay, you go and say that, okay, I saw, there is a very, very nice analogy Prabhupada gives about a hen. Hmm? There is a hen, okay, there is a hut in which they are bringing up a hen. And then there was a egg and the chicken came out of that egg. Then with the mother, the chicken was walking here and there and seeing things. Wow, there is a hut. big hut, and it went around the. Then after some time, the chicken became little bigger. Then it started walking. It knows that there is a hut and two trees are there in front of the hut, and it was roaming around only there. But little bit it started going little away, and he saw that another two more trees and two more huts are there. Then it came to the mother and said, "Mother, mother, there is two more trees and two more huts." Then the mother said, "You know only that much. But if you go on this side, there is a pond and there is four more huts and another 10 more trees. You don't know. You don't know the world." So sometimes we think my parents know everything, my parents are the guide like this. So the difference between spiritual master and parents is this, that the parents are completely in relative truth and they may know some things more, but they know the 10 more trees and two more houses only. They don't know the world, but they say this is the world. You don't know, baby. There is more in the world. Like that, the mother is telling because she has gone to the second street also. So same way from we are living in the in earthly planetary system. Hey, what is there in Surgaloga? Yeah, what is there in Argaloga? One Bharatavarsha. And if you go to Jambudvipa, there is a big tree in which there is a big mango actually. It will fall down and jambu juice also there. Jamun, we must be knowing jamun, right? So it falls down and it runs like a river. The juice runs like I said, wow, where is that? Where should I go? It is like the hen which is trying to go to the next street. Here they are putting some gehu ka atta or something gehu to eat, and in the next street they are putting chawal, so they can go to the chawal. So anyway, it's all like very cheap desire fulfillments compared to what we can really enjoy with Krishna in the spiritual world. Hmm? So, but this is what we search for. So, so within the dark universe, you don't try for another destination. The problem of life cannot be solved simply by going to the moon planet or to some other planet above or below. Therefore, Sri Isopanisad advises not to bother with any destination within the dark material universe, but to try to get out of it and reach the effulgence kingdom of Lord. Effulgence kingdom is not dark. The Brahmajyoti is the permanent light which is there, which is coming out of the body of the Lord. So then, now we are coming into the pseudo religionist. Very, very important to understand. Don't get carried away by religious people. Oh, very religious, very religious. That Swamiji, this Swamiji, that religion. In the name of religion, what is happening? That is warned by Srila Prabhupada here. Kindly read. Somebody read, start reading. And we can practically see this in our world around us.
There are many pseudo worshippers who become religionists only for the sake of name and fame. Such pseudo religionists do not wish to get out of this universe and reach the spiritual sky. They only want to maintain the status quo in the material world under the garb of worshipping the Lord. The atheist and impersonalist lead such foolish pseudo religionists into the darkest regions by preaching the cult of atheism. The atheist directly denies the existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the impersonalists support the atheist by stressing the impersonal aspect of the Supreme Lord. Thus far, we have not come across any mantra in Sri Isopanisad in which the Supreme Personality of Godhead is denied. It is said that he can run faster than anyone. Those who are running after other planets are certainly persons. And if the Lord can run faster than all of them, how can he be impersonal? The impersonal conception of the Supreme Lord is another form of ignorance, arising from an imperfect conception of the Absolute Truth. The ignorant pseudo religionists and the manufacturers of so called incarnations who directly violate the Vedic injunctions are liable to enter into the darkest region of the universe because they mislead those who follow them. These impersonalists generally pose themselves as incarnations of God to foolish persons who have no knowledge of Vedic wisdom. If such foolish men have any knowledge at all, it is more dangerous in their hands than ignorance itself. Such impersonalists do not even worship the demigods according to the scriptural recommendations. In the scriptures, there are recommendations for worshipping demigods under certain circumstances. But at the same time, these scriptures state that there is normally no need for this. In the Bhagavad Gita 7.23, it is clearly stated that the result derived from worshipping that the results derived from worshipping the demigods are not permanent. Since the entire material universe is impermanent, whatever is achieved within the darkness of material existence is also impermanent. The question is how to obtain real and permanent life. The Lord states that as soon as one reaches Him by devotional service, which is the one and only way to approach the personality of Godhead, one attains complete freedom from the bondage of birth and death. In other words, the path of salvation from the material clutches fully depends on the principles of knowledge and detachment gained from serving the Lord. The pseudo religionists have neither knowledge nor detachment from material affairs, for most of them want to live in the golden shackles of material bondage under the shadow of philanthropic activities disguised as religious principles. By a false display of religious sentiments, they present a show of devotional service while indulging in all sorts of immoral activities. In this way, they pass as spiritual masters and devotees of God. Such violators of religious principles have no respect for the authoritative acharyas. The holy teachers in the strict disciplic succession, they ignore the Vedic injunction, Acharyopasana. One must worship the Acharya. And Krishna's statement in the Bhagavad Gita 4.2, Evam Parampara Praptam. The supreme science of God is received through the disciplic succession. Instead, to mislead the people in general, they themselves become so called acharyas, but they do not even follow the principles of the acharyas. These rogues are the most dangerous elements in human society because there is no religious government. They escape punishment by the law of the state. They cannot, however, escape the law of the Supreme, who has clearly declared in the Bhagavad Gita that religious propagandists shall
Envious demons.
envious demons in the garb of religious propagandists shall be thrown into the darkest regions of hell. Bhagavad Gita 16.19 to 20. Sri Isopanisad confirms that these pseudo religionists are heading toward the most obnoxious place in the universe after the completion of their spiritual master business, which they conduct simply for sense gratification.
Om Tat Sat. Wow, that's heavy. So here, there is most dangerous elements of the human society is described. So these rogues, so who are these rogues? The spiritual master, they consider themselves to be acharyas or gurus, pose as a religionist, but very, very dangerous because they propagate impersonalism. And here, Prabhupada is telling now in India, we can see so many bogus gurus, bogus gods. So Prabhupada is telling what is this danger, very, very dangerous elements in the human society. For example, if there is a brand, let us assume there is a brand, okay? And if somebody is trying to create duplicate of that brand, immediately the government will interfere and that brand can put a case on that person. And then the products are seized and the person is affected. Sorry, the person is arrested, right? Arrested and whatever. But because there is a law, if there is a duplicate coming, then there is a law to check it. But there is no religious government. That is why this duplicate Swamis, duplicate all this, and also the impersonalist, they escape the punishment by the law of the state. Because there is no religious government. If somebody is writing Bhagavad Gita and interpreted Bhagavad Gita, it comes in the market. But if I am taking science or something, and if there is a movie which is going to happen, and if somebody releases a CD of that movie before even the movie gets released, then the person is arrested. Even for a movie, when a duplicate is coming, that's a nonsense movie. And when a duplicate is coming, that person is arrested. But Bhagavad Gita as it is there, but somebody is giving interpretation. They are not neither arrested nor questioned, and they become big heroes and roam around in this, as big heroes. So there is no religious government. They escape the punishment of the law of state. They cannot, but they cannot escape the law of Supreme, who has clearly declared in Bhagavad Gita that envious demon in the garb of religious propagandist. So generally you'll think envious demon is like Hiranyakashipu, who says that, Prahalad, don't chant. Why are you chanting? No, they will also be chanting. They will be chanting, but they will be garb of religious propagandists. So one example I can give, the person will be chanting, but he will be Mayavadi. So this example is coming again in Chaitanya Charitamrita, same Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. No, Raghunath Das Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, when he was coming to see Lord Chaitanya, he wanted to join Lord Chaitanya in Jagannath Puri. And he is also one of the 6 Goswamis. When he starts from there, then one man, he's always chanting Rama's name, Rama, 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 always chanting Rama's name. Continuously, his mouth doesn't stop. So Raghunath Das Goswami became very happy because he's chanting the holy name always. So that person asked, please, I also want to see Lord Chaitanya. Please, can I come with you? Please, very humbly, very, very humbly he requested. That humbleness, the chanting, everything is there. Then he said, then Raghunath Bhatta Goswami said, okay, you come with me, no problem. Because you're always chanting God's name, why can't you come with me? No problem. So they both were started walking, and Raghunath, he had some servants with him, and they were carrying the items, the clothing and everything. A small clothing bag or whatever it was carried by the servant. Their purpose is that. Then immediately that person said, please, please, can I carry your bag? I will carry, please. And then he said, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami said, these dialogues are there directly, very nice. And he said, no, no, servants are they'll carry, we can keep discussing about Krishna and we can go. No, no, sir, please give me this opportunity, give me personal service, give me. I'm very humble, this attitude. And he took that bag. And he personally carried Raghunath Das Goswami's bag. Also, he was always chanting Rama's name. So Raghunath Goswami thought that, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami thought that when I go there, maybe Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will give special blessings or something. This person. So anyway, I'm taking him. So he took him, and they reached Jagannath Puri. They went to Gambira, where Lord Chaitanya was there, and he went to meet Lord Chaitanya, offered the obeisances, and when he got up, that time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, how are you and everything, and he gave his reverence. In this way, very affectionately he treated. But he never noticed that other person. He acted as if he never saw him, he doesn't exist like that. So, because that man was there, and Raghunath Bhatta Goswami tried once or twice like this, and it didn't happen. So he just left it. And next day, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, that other person was not there. That time he came and asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, yesterday I brought another person. He was always chanting the holy name. He's continuously chanting the holy name. Non-stop he is chanting. And he's very humble also. And you didn't show darshan. Yeah, I know. He's always chanting Rama's name, but you don't know his internal intention. In the core of the heart, he want to merge into Rama. He want to become Rama. Rama is Maryada Purushottama. I also become like Rama. So he had that impersonalist attitude, and he want to merge with Rama. That is the reason he is always chanting Rama's names like this. So the Lord can see the core of the heart. So he never gives mercy or blessings to that personality who in fact want to kill the Supreme Lord, saying that the Lord is impersonal. So this brings a lot of pain to the heart when you are a person, you are existing, and somebody says that you doesn't exist. How it is. So for this, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he gave a story, a very nice story. I don't know whether we have of regularly Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur always used to quote some stories, very nice small stories, and to prove or to explain a particular philosophical concept. So this concept of that negating the existence of the Lord, um, by saying that Lord is impersonal, is atheism, hidden atheism. That is, he gave a story. Once there was a king, and the king had a very, very amazing minister, and the minister was very sharp, intelligent, and wonderful, good person. And he was guiding the king in every way as a minister's duty. He guided very, very nicely. So, this Brahmana minister. And the Brahmana minister's name was Bhagwan, and he was instructing the king. So, the king became very affectionate to this minister. And seeing this, the other ministers and other people, they became very, very envious in the assembly, how that Bhagwan minister is getting more attention of the king, and for every decision the king asks that Bhagwan minister. So what they did is, one time they somehow wanted to remove the Bhagwan minister from the assembly, but they were not able to do legally, because the king is very affectionate to the Bhagwan minister, and Bhagwan minister also very nicely giving very, very good advices and correctly guiding the king to very excellently. So what they did is, one day they locked the Bhagavan minister in his home. They locked the home from outside, and so that he was not able to come to the assembly. And all of them, because it's a major crowd, so all of them spoke to themselves, let us go and tell that the king that the Bhagavan minister is dead. So the minister didn't come for 2 3 days to the assembly, and he was locked like that. Totally, he was locked in his home, and they never let him come out of the house arrest. They say no, like that they made the house arrest. And after that, secretly, this is done without the knowledge of the king. And to the king, they informed that the unfortunate incident that the Bhagwan minister is dead. So in this way, a long time, the 1 2 3 months went, and the king was told that the Bhagwan minister is gone, and you have to manage put up with all of us only. And they continued living like that. And the king really felt the emptiness of missing that minister. But what he has to do, because he is dead, what he can do? So one day, then after that, they left the Bhagwan minister, and Bhagwan minister somehow came out of that mood thing. And one day, and he wanted to meet the king. He cannot meet the king because they were so strong. The soldiers, the security guard, everybody is with the other ministers. They have informed, if Bhagwan minister comes, you should never see the king. See to that he never sees the king. So then they let him open, and it's like almost he lost his position. And when he came to see the king, he was not allowed. He was not allowed. He was not allowed. He was not. Many, many times he tried to see the king, and he was not allowed in any way. So at last, one day, the king was coming as a procession in the elephant. So when he was coming in the procession in the elephant, then the Bhagwan minister went to the crowd, and all the soldiers pushed him away, and they never let them see the king. So the Bhagwan minister climbed a tree, and he sat on the tree. So when the king is coming in the elephant, he can just speak to the king. So when the elephant was coming nearby, then from the tree he started speaking, King, King, I'm Bhagwan minister, I'm here. Then all of them started seeing, all the ministers started saying, the ghost, the Bhagwan minister's ghost is hanging in the tree, the Bhagwan ministers. In this way, they made the Bhagwan minister became a ghost. So actually, he's fully alive, but this is the information which was given. Same way, this is told for 2 3 aspects, that the God is dead, but they say that the God is impersonal, like the God, the person has become a ghost. In that way, somehow they see to that the common public doesn't approach God. They keep on telling that he is impersonal, he cannot speak and all. So you won't try to relate with him. If you have some trouble in your life, for example, generally people, common people, or if you take some Christian or Muslim, they'll pray, Allah, please save me, Jesus, save me. Somebody they'll pray. But if there's a Hindu, there is 1,000 demigods, and if they go and ask for some material, give me that, give me this, and the demigods don't develop loving relationship with that person. They cannot ask very affectionately. So even as a materialistic person, one cannot approach God, because God is Brahma Jyoti. He won't speak, he won't walk, he won't talk, he won't relate with you. He is somewhere in there's a light. And so totally they are negating God from the Jiva's life. The Jiva is there, the Jiva is totally missing the God just because they are being continuously told that he is impersonal, he is impersonal, he is impersonal. So this is very, very dangerous aspect. So one should be very careful to stay away from these kind of concepts where we cannot relate with the Lord. Sambandha jnana itself will not happen. Sambandha abhideya prayojana. Abhideya is next you have to practice devotional service processes. And then prayojana is the result which you are obtaining from that. So the problem of life cannot be solved simply by going to the, yeah. So for name and fame, they become religious people. Many, many worshippers. And they do not wish to get out of the spiritual, get into the spiritual sky. These ideas are not there. There are other duplicate people also there. Now in India, it's a big business. So many religious organizations, big, big organizations, zero God, zero God. You know, we can have a group discussion later sometime. Then you can bring out, list out the names of all them. You need not know. One or two very, very famous. Even from my place, there is a man who's telling meditation, this, that, and all that, and is a form of kind of Shiva, but it's not Shiva also. It's what is that? Adi Yogi or something, and the zero existence of God. They negate the existence of God. They only want to maintain a status quo in the material world under the garb of worshipping the Lord. The worshipping Lord is so duplicitous. What a drama! You should see the drama on Shivaratri day or something. Oh, it's complete drama. So they just show it because earlier the same person spoke that there is no God, there's no personality like this. But later he got a very bad name because mostly there are Hindus around and um, they want God. So at last he understood his market want to open for Indian crowd. Of course, he was talking some cracking some jokes and he was getting some cracks around the globe. But this local people are not very supportive because there is zero God. So then he established some form and he called it Adi, this thing, and Shiva, like this. So the atheist and impersonalist, this religionist, is in the garb of worshipping the Lord, but their intention is not real worship. The genuinity is not there. The atheistic and impersonal lead such foolish pseudo-religionists into darkest region, preaching cult of atheism. So there are two things. One is atheistic people, they directly deny the existence of the Supreme Personality of God. Look here. The atheists directly deny the existence of the Supreme Lord. But the impersonalists support the atheist by stressing the impersonal aspects of the Lord. So from this we should understand the impersonalism also indirectly a kind of atheism. Atheist means Nastic. Nastic means who deny the existence of God. So thus far we have not come across any mantra in Isopanisad where the Supreme Personality of God is denied. Vedas very clearly specifies. Like it is said that he can walk faster than anyone, which actually means he has legs. Huh? And these people are running after another planet. I'll go to this planet and all that. And if Krishna can run faster than God can run faster than them, how he can be impersonal? Huh? So, two things. Impersonal conception of Supreme Lord is another form of ignorance arising from the imperfect conception of absolute truth. Like we saw that the elephant is like a trunk of a tree. If somebody says like this, don't you think it looks so foolish and ignorance? Because it is imperfect conception of the absolute truth. It's just one of the feature of the Supreme. But the Supreme, by default, the personality is a personality. So what they do is also they manufacture so-called incarnations. So many incarnations. I am God. Is Kalki Bhagwan. Guru Maharaj told in the class yesterday about Kalki Bhagwan. So there was a person in the South India and Andhra Pradesh and all, he was claiming himself to be Kalki. So one of the devotees informed that actually Kali Yuga's end only Kalki is coming. So Kali Yuga is 4,32,000 years, only 5,000 years are over. So 4,27 years are there for Kalki to appear. So one man, he heard this. So he went to the Kalki and asked, Sir, the Kalki avatar mentioned in the scriptures that he will come only in after 4,27,000 years later only, it is mentioned. But you are telling you are Kalki avatar, then how you came early? How it is possible that you came now? Then that man replied, maybe I'm not Kalki, but I'm God. That is the answer that man gave. Maybe I'm not Kalki. Means he's not sure. He's not sure who he is. But I'm sure I'm God. Because he has gained so much name, fame, glory, position, money, all these things, how he can give it up? Huh? Very big follower crowd. So they mislead the whole population, the whoever is following them, they follow. So the impersonal, this is also impersonalist only, generally pose themselves as an incarnation of God to foolish person who no knowledge of Vedic wisdom. So if they have any knowledge, it is even more dangerous. Like a snake is dangerous. And if you feed milk, so it will become more dangerous, poison will increase. Like that, the impersonalist with some knowledge is even more dangerous with an impersonal without knowledge. Such impersonalists do not even worship the demigods according to scriptural recommendation. Totally no scripture, no acharyas. We will see that the acharya parampara is the only hope, and they deny the acharya and they become the acharya. So they don't follow such impersonalists, do not even worship the demigods according to script. Neither they worship the Supreme Lord nor they worship the demigods. This is the danger you see here. In scripture, there are recommendation of certain circumstances you can worship demigod. So, and the same scripture says that no need to worship also. So, of course, it's a temporary benefit. But still, this pseudo religionist doesn't have demigod worship also, and they don't have impersonal worship also. So, when we worship the Supreme Lord, then through devotional service, then surely we are going to go cross beyond the bondage of birth and death. But the pseudo religionist, so automatically we'll get the principle of knowledge and detachment by serving the Lord. And separately, jnana and vairagya. We were discussing about the principles of jnana vairagya. Here it is mentioned. Prabhupada is mentioning very, very beautifully how the knowledge and vairagya comes. It's gained from serving the Lord. So that is very powerful. Jnana and vairagya with personal endeavor, when it is practiced, it is very difficult. But it is an automatic manifestation while serving the Lord lovingly. Automatically, the jnana and vairagya get established in a person. The principles of jnana and vairagya come to him. But the pseudo religionists, neither knowledge or detachment from material affairs. They don't have jnana also, vairagya also. And they want to philanthropic activities. They do good activities. They build hospitals. They tell good things to others. All these things falsely display religious sentiments. They build hospitals. They are very kind words. Without God, they will indirectly involve in all immoral activities, but they will very nicely give moral instruction, or they will help people in various ways. Philanthropic activities. Philanthropic activities means social service. They will do so many social service and good things in the name of religion, except God. God only is missing. Oh, he's a very nice man. He's having an ashram. Okay, and they give free education to children. They give free hospital, free dresses, and they give everything free. They have a trust. They are collecting and they are doing all this. Okay, is there God? No. See, very simple. If you are a godless man, you are a bad man. If you have God, then he is a good man. That's all. Other characters are secondary. All other characters are secondary. If you don't accept God, then you're a bad person. That's it, finished. And you accept God, you're a good man. You may have some flaws in you, but that all comes as secondary. The primary is, do you accept God or not? Anybody opens a religious organization, the simple thing is, what is your opinion about God? Does he exist or not? Is he a person or not? Yes, he's a personality. And if there is no devotion, if any aspect of devotional service is missing, then everything is missing. And they never follow his acharya, but they selfly declare themselves as acharyas. They instead mislead the people in general, so-called acharyas. These rogues are very, very dangerous elements in the human society because there is no religious government. Nobody can check them. We already saw that. So the most dangerous part of the universe is kept for them. Obnoxious means the most difficult or dangerous or torturous place that is reserved for these kind of people. And the spiritual master business, whatever show they are running a big show, and there are a large crowd, and they are all heading into this darkest place, because they are doing a spiritual master business just for the simple sense gratification, either for the gross sense gratification or for subtle sense gratification. But at last, they have their own ulterior motive. Okay. So we understand that the impersonal is more dangerous than the demigod worship. Demigod worship is not required. It's also foolishness and ignorance. But more ignorant is worship of the impersonal absolute. Okay. Thank you very much. Any questions or comments? Tomorrow, all of you should be ready for the skit. Kindly put it in the group that they should be ready for the skit. Of Narsimadev past him based on the Isopanisad mantra 11, second, third, fourth paragraph. Okay. Any questions or comments? Haribol. If you don't ask question, I will ask question. I'll wake you up from sleep.
Mataji, if no one has question, I want to say something. I mean, just I don't have a question. I just want to know your thoughts. Am I audible?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, Om Govindrai.
Yes. So at some about, I mean, you were explaining some about point while reading, and after that you say, oh, so heavy. So I just want to know, I have seen you explaining many heavy lectures easily when you were in Surat. So yes, this is heavy for us, but how you can, equate with us, how you can understand that it is heavy for us. It should be normal for you, but you said it's so heavy for us. You of course said, but how you can literate that instantly? I just want to know your thoughts. That's it.
I said heavy because Prabhupada was mentioning here, because there is no religious government, they cannot be punished. See, these people who are writing, if anybody is doing duplicitous, any duplicate in this world, they are arrested or they are checked by the law, they are fined, they have to pay fine to the government or something, right? If in social media, if somebody is speaking wrong about another person, let us assume there is some famous man, Rajnikant, and one man is coming and talking something wrong about him. So immediately, if the government is taking action or the Rajnikant himself is putting a case or something, right? So even to a normal person, such law is there to check that people are not speaking ill about him, or anybody cannot do duplicate products. There is law. But only to God, one person will come and tell God is light, God is something, something. And there is no religion, nobody to check it or arrest him or punish him. The law of state. This is what I was thinking when I was reading this. It's really heavy.
Okay.
That Prabhupada is feeling that there must be law of the state should be strict, that if somebody deviates from the philosophy, they also should be punished. Because they're creating duplicate religion, bogus gods, openly roaming in the street. Only when the man is having some illicit sex or something, when he's caught on the camera, that time only people are scolding and the police is coming. But till then, that man is having a big property, big roaming around and very famous. But all bogus philosophy denying the existence of God. But he is wearing a dress of a yogi or a dress of a jnani or a dress of a sannyasi, or claiming themselves to be God. I am God. Like earlier during Bhaktivinoda Thakur time also, there is a person called Bishakish. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur took the British police and he arrested that man. It's a very famous story. It is part of the history in Orissa. This Bishakish was one of the most dangerous Swamijis in Bengal. In Orissa, he acquired lot of yoga siddhis, and what he did is he he was a religious person. He was posing like that, and due to his yoga shakti, he was able to walk on the water. He walk on the fire. He can emanate the fire from the mouth, like this and all. He had yoga shakti, which would have come from his previous life's yoga practice, or he would have gone to some expert yogic person and learnt to control certain elements of matter. So even in Chinese movies and all, you'll see that the people control the air, people control the fire, and like this, they show the hand like this. Then they push the air, the other person falls down like that. The kung fu and all that. So this controlling the elements is an art. Even it can come into the astra and sastra. That you have the Vayu astra, then there is a water astra, Varuna astra. Then the water will come out. This is control of the nature. Certain. This is an art. Right now, it's not open to the Kali Yuga people, all due to our deviation from the scriptures and others. It's not required also right now. We are all into bhakti. And then this this person, this Bishakisha, what he did is he told that I am Lord Vishnu. I have incarnated to kill the British and re-establish the religion. So already the religion is gone. The British has come and occupied India. I'm going to kill all of them and I'm going to become king. And then like that. So he was, but he was attracting many big crowds because of he was able to walk on the water, or he was able to emanate the fire and all that. Some magical aspects he was showing. So what happened? He became very famous in Orissa. So that time he was telling, "I'm Vishnu." So whatever I asked, so he was telling to bring the family ladies to be in his company, and they have to offer that ladies to him. He will select. Okay, tomorrow you bring your wife, you bring your daughter. You have to send. So it was very dangerous. He also was maintaining some women with him and all. So then, genuine people, they were feeling very fearful of him, and they don't know. Maybe I should send or I should not send, or very scary. And he was on a very bad character in this way. So what happened that this complaint came to the British government, and they don't know how to handle it. They are educated British men and a very limited crowd. They are Indians are a very major population. So the only option was Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He was the first Indian magistrate in British government, and his history has come in the Orion books, school books. Very wonderful personality. And then they approached him to solve the issue. Of course, he set right so many things in government of Orissa. Um, so during the British rule, so he was able to speak English, communicate, and at the same time with the locals also, he's in a good rapport. So they came and told like this Vishwakish is doing. So we want to arrest him. He is doing all this stuff. He's asking women to come and all that. And so then Bhaktivinoda Thakur went to check. So when he went, this Vishwakis was really releasing the fire from the mouth, and he was walking on the this thing and all. People were all, so many people had gathered. So then Bhaktivinoda Thakur went and met him that you don't do this. I know that you're not God, you have some power, but kindly don't do this illicit activities and all that. Then that man said, ha ha ha, he started laughing. He wanted to maintain his duplicity. He started laughing, ha ha ha. I know who you are, Kedarnath Datta. Actually, his name was Kedarnath Datta, Bhaktivinoda Thakur's name. So you're Kedarnath Datta, I know that you are there. So you come. I know you. I am Vishnu. You cannot see like that. Then he said, Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, no, it cannot be. No, I am Vishnu. I'm going to destroy all the British and I'm going to become king. At the time, I'll make you my minister. Like that, he said. Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, no, the Supreme Lord is Jagannath and he is there. Because in Orissa, main temple is Jagannath Puri. So he said, in Jagannath is there. Then he said, I am God, I am God. Can't you see like that in Oriya language? Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, no, the God is there, Jagannath. He is there in Jagannath Puri. Ha ha ha, that is only a wood. As soon as he said that is only wood, Bhaktivinoda Thakur became so furious and he decided to arrest this rascal. And he said that you can never be Vishnu because Jagannath deity is not just wood. As soon as you said wood, that proves that you are a bogus. And he immediately clapped the hands, and immediately so many soldiers were hiding here and there. All of them came and they arrested him. Then that Bishakish said that, you don't know my power, you don't know my power, Sarvanash Kardungi, like that. And he was dragged along and he was put in the jail. So when Bhaktivinoda Thakur goes to, he was the judge, he was the magistrate, and he's supposed to release the judgment of what to do with this man. So he was writing the judgment and all the ulterior, very bad activities he has done. He was taking notes of all those things and he was working on this case. And whenever he went to meet that man in the jail, that he warned, you don't know whom you're playing. So that man, 26 days, he stayed without food and water. He was totally healthy and he was completely full consciousness, very healthy person without drinking water. Such powerful he was, and he was doing some meditation and some activities he was doing in order to bring ill fate to Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So what happened? First, his wife was, Bhaktivinoda Thakur's wife was telling, please, no need, let us just leave this as it is. I think her name is Rajani Devi. She said that let us just leave this, let us leave him. He is very powerful in Orissa, he is very famous and he will do some things. And so what happened is Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when and he went to meet him one time in jail, he said, go to your home and see what happened to your daughter. He said like that. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur immediately rushed home, and in the house, Bhaktivinoda Thakur had one daughter, and she was so ill, she was about to die. Complete fever, unconscious, cannot open the eyes, like that. Then his wife, that time only his wife said, just release him. She may die and he may create more calamity. He's already warning you, please, please, like this. Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, no, even if my daughter dies, this rascal who is claiming himself to be Lord Jagannath, he's telling Jagannath is wood and he is only God. He has to finish. This I will never leave him, whatever happens. Then what happened? Then again, the judgment has to happen the next day. The previous day, that man went into complete trance and he was in trance or whatever, samadhi or whatever it is, and he was doing some meditation in order to finish Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur got fever, very, very high fever. He cannot move. He cannot move out of his bed. That time, he told the authorities to bring the stretcher. And the British authorities, they were all fully with Bhaktivinoda Thakur, educated people. Then he said, bring the stretcher. And in the stretcher, he came to the court with very, very heavy fever and he is not able to move. And from the stretcher, then he gave very slowly he was moved into the chair and he gave the verdict, that lifetime imprisonment. For that man, he should never be left out like that. So one of the Britisher, he read in some book that this kind of yogis, they store all the power in their hair, in the chadamudi, that matted hair will be there. So they store the power. Somewhere he read it. So he thought better to cut him. So when the result was given, when the verdict was given, the judgment, that time that man was Bishakish became, and outside so much crowd was there. Release Bishakish, like that, because they were all his supporters and they were Vishnu is being arrested, God, something like that. They were all speculations. And that British police officer, what he did is he just cut the hair. He took a scissors, and when the Bishakish was not looking, he just took the complete hair. He just he cut it off. So because as soon as the hair fell down, immediately Bishakish, everybody saw when he was coming out of court, He lost the 26 days, he was full strength without water and food. But he became, in no time, he became so weak and tired and he was just fainting. All his yoga siddhi power, everything is gone. Just in the hair he had stored. And he just fell down like a cloth. And he was so weak, like an ordinary man. And he was not able to even move. He was so thin. Everybody understood he is a duplicate. Only in the hair it is there. That all of them saw. Then they all understood that this judgment is correct. And they all went. And then I think that man suicided after some years, some days. He suicided within the this thing or something, jail or something like that. But he has so many bad activities he has done in the garb of religious people. But the Bhaktivinoda Thakur is one of the, I said heavy, is because that how Prabhupada is thinking that there should be a law in the state to check that bogus religion, bogus but there must be a correct religion to do this, not that secularism. Okay, eradicate all religion are bogus. That is wrong. So that means you don't know what is proper religion. So Prabhupada's books can be a very good law books, which are guiding us to understand what is real religion and which is not. So that when the duplicate religion, impersonalist, India is filled with impersonalist people. If you have to arrest, you have to arrest everybody. Almost almost all the religious people has to be arrested because everybody is bogus. So when we say this, some people feel offended. No, Mataji, they are also like that, Mataji. No, no, you tell the philosophy. You tell the philosophy. In 2 minutes, 3 minutes, we can break it. If you have read Srila Prabhupada's book properly and we have understood the Krishna conscious philosophy is not a devotion to Krishna alone. It is A to Z of everything. Anta, Veda, Anta. The conclusion of Vedas. So I said it's heavy is because Prabhupada is directly and clearly denying the existence, authority of impersonalist people. People want all inclusive. They are also religion, no. It's also meditation, also good, no. And this is also good, no, Mataji. They are also doing that, no. Some spirituality they are doing, no. Rather than being a material person, they are that, no. But like this, we are weak people, weak. We are weak. But Prabhupada is not weak. He's very strong. See, because there is no religious government, they escape the punishment of law of the state. So anyway, they cannot escape the law of supreme. It's clearly declared, and they will really go to the greatest danger. They will go to hell and suffer, especially those who are misguiding people. There may be some impersonal individual is not dangerous, but impersonal guru is dangerous. Pseudo-religionists are heading towards the most universe after the completion of their spiritual master business. So there is a spiritual master business. We should understand. So many gurus and Swamijis roaming around, bogusly posing themselves. They maintain a beautiful social attire. Oh, I am a sadhu. I am a very wonderful person, and good advices, good guidance, family, how to live a family, how to not have bad habits. Very, very good words and nicely guiding, cracking jokes and being affectionate and having their own campus, developing things, and people go there and see becoming famous. But they cannot cheat God, no. So I said heavy is because Prabhupada is saying there is no religious government, they escape punishment by law of state. So I was thinking how Bhaktivinoda Thakur did it because British government gave him an opportunity to do with one or two people this. Another person was also there. He was a black magician and he was holding so many ghosts on a tree. And his business is he will send the ghost to some wealthy person's home and he will create disturbance in his family members and a very fearful situation. So in this city, in this village, is the only person who will chase away the ghost. He is posing as a good man who will chase away the ghost. So immediately the people will come and approach Swami. I'm hearing some noises or I'm having this trouble like this. So ghosts are very simple, not problematic beings. They lost the body, but they didn't get the next body. And till then they have the hunger and thirst, but generally they eat blood, shit, urine, and pus, and alcohol and meat. These are all their food. That is why we should not keep alcohol and meat anywhere near our home, because it's very inauspicious. It not only attracts the lower animals like a cat and dog, it also attracts unnecessary elements. So that is why we are asked to keep the home clean and the body clean, is because of that. Hmm? And then this man will send, he himself will send, and then when the wealthy man approaches, he will charge a heavy money, and he will tell the ghost to come back. Then the ghost will come back, and then, oh, the problem is solved, and he becomes very famous. So this was also reported to Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Bhaktivinoda Thakur didn't do anything, very simple arrangement he did. He gave salary to and appointed a Brahmana, and the Brahmana's duty is to go every day morning till evening. He has to read Srimad Bhagavatam under the same tree. So that man was maintaining all the ghosts on the tree only, trees branches. He was maintaining them. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur told, you just go and read Srimad Bhagavatam morning till evening. That Brahmana has to read, and monthly he'll get salary. That's all. So that man went and he started reading Srimad Bhagavatam there. How lucky, And then this man started fighting. It is my tree. I am staying here. Why you're coming? Why you're like this? He created a lot of trouble. Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur went and said, you are sitting on the other side. It's a big tree. He's sitting on the other side only, no? Let him sit there. So he amicably solved it, and this man is sitting on this side and that, and he was reading. So hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavatam is very, very powerful. Simply the utterance of the Sanskrit terms, every syllable is Krishna. So all the ghosts, they were not chased away. Chasing the ghost means like a dog is there. You chase away from its, when there is a piece of meat or some milk or something, the dog will come to that food. And when you chase away, again it comes from the left side to right side and right side to left side. It will disturb. It's simple disturbing elements, that's all, for food and shelter. That's all they want. And sometimes if a weaker person is there, they will occupy the body and all that. So these kind of some danger and irritations are there, like a dog or cat. Just imagine like a dog. That's all. And then but so chasing them away is not that. They get another body or they get liberated. So by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, this is proven in many places. Even Gokarna, there is a pastime of Gokarna. So this ghost, they get the, so by reading, all the ghosts, they started getting purification, and they were leaving their ghostly bodies. And they all, on one fine day, what happened? With a great noise, the tree broke into two pieces, and all the ghosts with the great sound, there are many hundreds of ghosts he was holding. With a great sound, they came out and they hit that man heavily, and that man died there only. Before leaving, they hit that man, and then they all left, and people saw that the tree broke into two pieces, and all the ghosts go get a body and just leave there like that. This also Bhaktivinoda Thakur did. He great, amazing warrior. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was. He was a religious police. He checked the religion. He said that I'm a what do they call, Jadu Pocha person in the Namahata. He said, Nadia Godrume, Nadia Chaitanya Nityananda Prabhu has opened a Namahata. It's a marketplace, but there, what is I am a sweeper. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is a sweeper. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur mentions himself as a sweeper, and he describes the speaker as sweeper cleaning the place in the market. He's removing all this bogus philosophies, bogus religion, wrong ideas and conceptions in misunderstanding Krishna consciousness. All those are like having a jadu in the hand and cleaning the marketplace. The holy name will be there and purely Krishna conscious. Kevala Ananda Kanta, very, very beautiful process of Krishna conscious alone will be successful. Bhakti Jir Tattvam. So that is being done by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So I said heavy is because he is asking to have a religious government. There that law is not there to check the bogusness. When there was authorized kings, this bogus religion was not penetrating inside. See, even in Ramayana, this Ravana, he dressed like a sannyasi. How dare he do that? And came to kidnap Sita. So that is happening from long time, this bogus. Even Indra is the one who started this. Indra is the inaugurator of bogus. When you read Bhagavatam, you will come across how the Indra came as a bogus many places, and he is the one who started that. In the dressing of a sadhu, you can go and do any nonsense. So it's very dangerous. Indra did it, then what to speak of others? He is the inaugurator of this bogus thing. That is what I was talking about, heaviness of that. Philosophy, anybody, it's a simple philosophy. Prabhupada made it so simple, yaar. You can easily understand. There is not much of a heavy subject in this. We are all seeing so many bogus gurus, no? Swamijis. So many bogus gurus and gods. I am God. Big crowd. There is some Asta channel, some religion channel. There are so many channels in. You can go and people speak all sort of nonsense there. All sort of nonsense. One man in Vrindavan became very famous. Now also is famous. So I was people were speaking so much about. So I thought, okay, I'll just check it out, and I just saw one or two. I heard one or two small bits of what he is speaking, and he very simply said, "आप भगवान को if you when you put the Lord to sleep and next day morning the Lord is waking up with the same mala." Mala means not just with the flower garland, even that any garland, motika mala or jewelry. When mala say God is getting up, then whatever bhakti you did in that punya, whatever you acquired, everything will go. He is just casually is telling, sab punya chale jate hain, like that. So my question, very simple. Prabhupada taught us, even in Guru Maharaj class right now, it is going on, that neither the holy name is one, considering the name holy, chanting of holy name as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas as productive activities. So in the Karma Kanda session. So Punya Karma is something different. Punya and Papa belong to the material world. So the spiritual activities are not beyond the material world. So they are not Punya nor Papa. So they're not, so how can you say that the Punya challenge? So it's not, worshipping Krishna is not for Punya. Very basic, very elementary education. So that's what I used to tell, that they fail, LKG fail and became a PhD teacher. Like this. Very elementary, that it's not Punya Karma, either Lord wearing the garland or removing the garland or putting the Lord to the sleep, especially Krishna. The person is in Vrindavan. So many bogus. Simply, we can understand the basic is so weak. Ordinary devotee in ISKCON will know this basic because we are guided by Acharya Parampara. We have a proper Acharya Srila Prabhupada, and he has given us these books. So we should start reading books properly from Prabhupada. We have to hear from Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj is very specific. We have to read Srila Prabhupada books. Not we hear so many things in so many people. How do they know? They know from Prabhupada book. No, you also read Prabhupada book. What is wrong? So much encouragement for book distribution. No encouragement for book reading. Book reading is more important. Prabhupada will be more pleased if you read Prabhupada book than distribute his books. Distributing books comes secondary. Reading books comes primary. One time, some devotees were missing in Bhagavatam class. So Prabhupada asked, where are they? So another devotee said, they are cleaning the temple hall. They are doing service, Prabhupada. Then he said, Seva, they are doing Seva. Then, Seva or Baba, they can do later. First ask them to come to the class. You can appoint somebody to clean the temple, but you cannot appoint somebody to listen to my lectures. Only my disciples can do it. Like that. The philosophy will go in the head of the disciple. But for cleaning the temple, they can appoint somebody. Like that, Prabhupada scolded. Very, very intense. And see here. So, because we are warriors and we have to get trained very nicely, and we have to be very clear about the philosophy, not for argumentative sake, but to guide the population rightly into devotional service. Not to arguing and defeating. That is not our motive. Our motive is the innocent people are there. They should not be misguided. Let the religious people go to hell. Let the common man become devotee. Let even the atheist become a devotee. Let even Ashura become a devotee. The so-called religious people, if he goes to hell, let him go. We are not here to argue with them, but to save the world, save the common man from this bogus people. That's our duty. We are the religious police now. With the jadu, we have to walk in the market. what to do. Even within the Harinam market, we have to walk with the jadu. That it is becoming like that now. Earlier, we had such a comfortable time when I came to Krishna consciousness. It was so blissful because I didn't see any bogus philosophy. We were so blissful. But now, because after the internet and everything, any Tom, Dick, and Harry comes there and blabbers any nonsense, just as a content to become famous or whatever reason they have their own agenda. But just to gain the popularity or to gain followers, thinking that in that way I will preach. No, in that way you won't preach. That is not the way. There is genuine work is to be done in the back end. Like if you take big businessmen, like persons who are running big companies, you won't see them in the front end because they are busy serious business. They are busy with the serious business. So when you go to the temple, you are busy with the serious business of preaching Bhakti Vriksha, guiding many people, taking them into Siksha programs, bringing them into shelter and initiation. This is a busy program. You're a real businessman. So you're in the front end, then you're simply an advertisement model. You're not really consuming the product. Sometimes it happens like that. Is that okay, Om Govind Rai?
Yes, got it.
Any other questions or comments? Okay. If there are questions or comments or any realizations, you can share it in the group, but all of you are very silent. You can also ask privately or discuss privately. There is no issue. And if you want it to be totally private, we can keep it totally private also. Because sometimes I get questions and devotee says that Mataji is my personal question, Mataji, please. Like that, I'm getting voice message, then I'll respond to them. So that is also possible. Thank you. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु
Jai,
महाराज की जय,
Jai,
निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि
Hari Hari.